She's blowing me on the day she's ovulating. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm like, yeah, you love it. Like, I think she digs me now. Fucking stupid. So she's having another baby any day now. She's due, and it's true. She's fucking the whole thing. And a lot of people call those people white trash. And I love that expression, white trash, because it's the only racial expression that you can use, and nobody gets offended. Nobody gives a shit. When you say white trash, nobody goes, hey, don't talk like that about them. That's not nice. Nobody defends white trash. You could be talking to the most liberal hippie in the world. You're, hey, I saw this guy, he was white trash. He'll go, ha ha, fuck that guy. White trash loser. Overweight people deal with things that none of us deal with, because I'm not overweight. There's people who are discriminated against because of their weight. I read a story once about a woman who's 600 pounds, and she couldn't get medical care. Because everything she goes to the doctor, he just says it's because she's fat. Everything. She's like, my knees hurt. He's like, yeah, my knees hurt just looking at you. What did you think was going to happen? She's like, I have chest pains. He says, yeah, because your organs are over capacity, so they're hurting. She's like, I got shot in the head. He said, yeah, because you're fucking fat. Somebody shot you in the fucking head because you're fat. Here's the worst part of the story, and this is true. This is true. She needed an MRI because she had something serious. She's 600 pounds. She doesn't fit in the machine. You know what they did? They sent her to the zoo. I'm not kidding. They sent her to the fucking zoo. That's what we do for fat people who need an MRI. Hey, here's your prescription. Go to the zoo. Yeah, that's where you should go. You should go to the zoo. By the way, you know how many fat people we have in this country? About 600 trillion billion thousands of them. You know how many trans people there are? About 38. But if you're trans and you need a restroom and it's awkward, we'll change every restroom. But if you're fat and you need an MRI, you go to the zoo, you fat bitch. Just go to the zoo. You go experience that today. What happens when she gets to the zoo? What actually fucking happens when she arrives at the zoo? Are you here to see the monkeys? No, I'm here for an MRI. Oh, shit. All right. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, just stand in the straw over here. Yeah. You're after the walrus who has lymphoma. By the way, why is there an MRI machine at the fucking zoo? Who was developing that instead of a fat human being MRI? Who's paying for this shit? You don't give an elephant a fucking magnetic resonance image test. What are you, fucking high? That's obscene. If an elephant is sick, you just listen. You do this thing. Misa thinks she's gonna die today. I'm saying this out of respect for elephants, by the way, because we're supposed to respect how they live. They don't fucking cure their diseases. This is not their culture. This is our weird. Let's fix it. Oh, he's sick. That's not how elephants live. An elephant in the Serengeti isn't like, I have a lump, I have to see my oncologist. When an elephant gets cancer, he falls over and he takes his fucking turn and becomes food. You don't put an elephant in a state-of-the-art... What if you find cancer? What are you going to give him, chemotherapy? The skinny elephant with a pink baseball hat? Each day is a gift. Had a good day. I got a call today. My phone rang and I answered it. I didn't recognize the number. I said hello, and the person said, "Please hold for the president." I was like, "What?" And then a voice comes on. It sounded like the president, and he's like, "Oh, it's President Obama." And I said, "No, that's not you." And he goes, "Yes, it is." And I said, "No, there's no way the president would ever call me." So he goes, "All right, we'll just hang up and call the White House and ask for me and you'll get through and maybe they'll convince you." So I said, okay, and I hung up. And I Googled the White House. And I got like the main number, and I called and said, hi, this guy was calling me. He said he was the president. My name's Louis. And she put me through. So all of a sudden, I'm talking to the president. And I said, what can I do for you? And he goes, I don't know, what's up? And he said, where are you? I said, I'm in Phoenix. And he said, I heard they're all fags there. I know. And I was like, first of all, Phoenix is not known for that. Second of all, who says fags? Like, who says just fags? And then beyond that, how dare you, Mr. President? And he says, so go tell everybody who's going to believe you, you fat douche. And he hung up. I was really surprised. That's what I would do. If I was the president, I would just bother people. I would just fly around the country, go to like Wisconsin, go to some guy's house at 3 a.m. and just drink out of the milk carton. So tell everybody, just piss on the floor. Who's gonna believe you? Yeah, go tell everybody the president pissed on your floor at 3 a.m. Go ahead. To me, that would be the whole point of being president. Is getting to do that. But anyway, now I live in a nice building, and I'm not used to it because it's nice. There's like a pretty courtyard with flowers and a fountain with little marble boys pissing. I don't know. What is it with fountains? Like, all fountain sculptors are pedophiles, basically. You can't get a fountain made without... Can you make me a fountain? Yes, I'll get started right away. Oh, yes! Yes! It's finished! And it's just little boys pissing on the face of a Greek god that looks like him a lot. Piss on me forever! Anyway, there's one of those in the courtyard of my building. And my first week in the building about a year ago, I went down to the courtyard for the first time. And I didn't look too good, you know? It was a Sunday morning. That's my least presentable hour. There's a lot of, just stains, just like, food and me and whatever. And so I'm sitting there. So, shut up. Oh. Anyway, so there I was. I'm sitting on the stone bench of this courtyard and feeling a little out of place. There's these fancy doormen and stuff. And then there's this guy looking at me. I notice he's looking at me from across the courtyard. And he's all spiffy looking. He's got brown shoes and he's looking at me like, I could tell he was thinking I don't live in the building. He thinks I just wandered in off the street and sat in the courtyard. I could tell he's thinking of coming over and dealing with me on his own. And I'm sitting there thinking like, oh, please do that. Yes, please, come on. And I'm trying to look even more gross. And I'm like, pulling up my shirt. And then I see him go, oh, no, that's not going to do at all. And he comes over to me. And I'm like, I'm so excited to have this thing. The confrontation where I'm not wrong at all. And he thinks I am. So he comes over, says, excuse me, do you live in this building? And I said, no. Because why not start there? I said, no. He goes, well, then what are you doing here? And I said, I just need your rest. I'm having a hard time. He says, this is private property. And I said, well, I don't really believe in that. Just the worst things I could say from his point of view is basically all the things I was saying. And he goes, well, if you don't leave, I'm going to talk to the doorman. I was like, can I just stay like 5 more hours? So he's, no. And he goes over to the doorman. And I see him talking about me to the doorman like this. And then I see the doorman going, oh, no, that guy lives here. That's okay. And the look on his face, it was just so, it was this beautiful cocktail of anger and confusion. It's like I had invented a new way to hurt somebody's feelings. That's how excited I was. He was so angry, he came back. He came back to me. He said, why didn't you tell me that you live here? And I said, because I don't have to tell you anything ever. There are no words that I must say to you. Also, I didn't want to ruin your thing. That's your favorite thing you were doing. You love that. Making people not be places. Also, I make more than you. I just don't give a shit about myself.
I was reading to my kids the other night. We have a rule that if they get their teeth brushed and their goddamn pajamas on by 7:30, I'll read a book. Those are the rules. I'm always glad when they get ready because I like to read to them. I do. I love reading to my girls. So we read a book the other night. We were reading Tom Sawyer. I'm reading them Tom Sawyer because Mark Twain, great author, and they're 5 and 9 years old. They're young for it, but they catch up to it, and they're fascinated by all the language. He uses big words and beautiful writer. And I picked Tom Sawyer, not Huckleberry Finn, because Tom Sawyer is a nice kid. Goes to school, he goes to church, lives with his aunt. The Huckleberry Finn is a dirty little homeless little white trash creep. And main problem is that he won't stop saying nigger. I mean, 40 times a page. I can't sit on my daughter's bed and just say nigger all night and then put her to sleep. I just ain't gonna do that. Anyway, I'm reading him Tom Sawyer, and it's a real nice book, but then all of a sudden he runs into Huckleberry Finn on the street. And then Tom saw his friend Huck Finn. I'm like, oh, God, okay. All right, let's take it easy here, fellas. Let's just have a nice, quiet conversation here. Let's see how this goes. Huckleberry Finn was carrying a dead cat. It's not a good sign. He's walking around with a dead cat. Tom Sawyer says, what you doing with a dead cat, Huck? Huck Finn says, gonna cure my warts. All right. My kids are fascinated. Who told you could cure warts with a dead cat? Well, Tom Wilson did it. He learned it from Jack Johnson, who learned it from some nigger down the street. Oh, God. All right, girls, listen. Here's the thing. America... People would say this word, and it's not a good word, and I don't know why. I'm sounding like Bill Cosby right now. But people used to say this word, and this is not a nice word to say. And so we remember. I told the girls, these boys are racists. These boys are racists and they're not nice boys. I think we can still enjoy the stories about the fishing and the trading, and it's weird, man. There's that's part of our history, and we have to know it's there. And how do you cope with shit in your past that's bad? Like, how do you try to feel like a good country when you've done shitty things as an entire nation? How do you take your past and still feel good? When I was 8 years old, I showed my penis to a girl with Down syndrome that lived down the street. And I gotta walk around living with that every day. I gotta wake up as that guy. I was 8. If I did it yesterday, it would be considered a lot worse. But I'm still the dude that did that. I was just a kid, but this is still the penis that I showed to the girl with Down syndrome by the dumpster behind Kentucky Fried Chicken. That happened. Those were my values at 8 years old. And I know that's an awkward thing to equate to slavery in America, but it's kind of the same thing. Because that shit happened here.
Murder is a weird law structure also. This is not a sentence, didn't make any sense, but murder should be simple because it's a binary crime. You kill somebody or you don't. They're alive or they're dead. It's one or the other. But the laws around murder are a little murky. One person kill somebody, get 100 years. Somebody else gets 20. Why? What's the difference? Here's what they base your sentence on with murder. They base it on how you felt when you murdered them. That's weirdly important. They say, okay, you shot him in the face. But what was up with you, man? Like, what was going on? Like, come on. I think if you murder somebody, your sentence should be based on how old the person was that you murdered. That should matter. How much of their life did you take away? Like, if you see a 3-year-old girl in the park and you just kick her to death. It's a hypothetical. Fucking grow up. It's a hypothetical. I'm not asking you to go do that. I'm just asking you to just really imagine just kicking a 3-year-old till she's dead. She do a lot of time, unless she's got like diabetes. You got to work it all in. But what if you kill somebody who's like 98? He's 98 and he's like in a hospice. He's not even good 98. He's in a hospital. You know what hospice is? It's like a hospital, but they don't try to help you. And say there's a guy, he's like 98 in a hospice. He's got cancer and AIDS and COVID. And he's like, and they just unplugged him. And then right then you walk in. You should get like 5 minutes for that. I was born in 1967, and so I grew up in the 70s. So I'm not racist. However, that was a very racist decade. People said racist things all the time, and nobody got offended. The only time somebody got offended if you said something racist in the 70s is when they would then say, like, hey, you interrupted me. I was saying something racist. Why did you?
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
Why? It says press.
So you press a thing because it says press? You would not have survived the camps.
What? It's...
Dude.
It says press.
Go ahead.
Why would they make it say press?
Press the arc button. Enjoy.
Nigger.
Whoa.
My kids are like Israel and Palestine. And I'm like America. The little one's like Palestine because she always gets screwed. She gets the worst deals. She's like, she threw a rock at my face. I'm like, you're fine. Here's a joke. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because there was a black guy walking behind him. We had a town child molester. His name was Jean-Baptiste. This is a true story. And he liked teenage boys. That's when you would find out, because I was a teenage boy. He didn't like me. I felt a little bad. I have this friend. He has a phone that can IM. He can instant message. And so now I really want him to die, because I'm sick of getting these fucking messages from him on his phone. I'm in a shoe store. That's the whole message. We're not secret agents. I don't need to know where you are. You know, kids are mean, and it's because they're trying it out. They look at a kid and they go, you're fat. And then they see the kid's face scrunch up and they go, ooh, that doesn't feel good to make a person do that. Right. But they got to start with doing the mean thing. But when they write you're fat, then they just go, that was fun. I like that.
You're the only person we could find who would come here to defend masturbation.
Well, I like it. It's easy and it's fun and nobody gets hurt.
The Bible teaches us that lust in your heart is a sin when acted upon outside the context of marriage.
Well, I'm not married, so anything I do is outside of that context.
So I get this message from him. He says, I'm on an airplane in Seattle. So I wrote back and I said, well, I hope your plane crashes. And he gets pissed off and he calls me, take it back. We're about to take off. I'm like, fuck you. I hope it crashes. I don't have to take it back. Don't be a musician. That's a stupid thing to do for a living. But if it doesn't work out the way you wanted, you can look at these. You've got these guys here. And he tries to make, he goes, well, how are you going to feel now if my plane crashes after you went and said that? I'm like, are you shitting me? That would be amazing. To know that I can do that? I'd happily trade your life for knowledge of my powers.
Enjoy each other under his loving gaze.
When you mean that God watches married people have sex?
Well, God watches over everything.
So we're like porn for God. He watches us, and then he probably masturbates.
Have you ever tried?
Tried not to masturbate?
Yes.
Well, sometimes I won't do it for like a week, but that's just so that when I do it again, it'll be way better.
I'm thinking of buying a goat. Because I want to have a trash can that I can make love to. I can do that with a trash can I have now, but a goat has a vagina. That makes it a lot better. Hey, what would you do if you had a time machine? I'm like, fuck you. I don't... You know what? I wouldn't use it. I just let it sit in my house. I'd put a drink on it. And yeah, I got a time machine. I never even wanted it. I don't know. I'm not interested. I'd use it to go back 30 minutes ago and punch you in the fucking face before you asked me that. That's all. One use.
I'm a good citizen, I'm a good father, I recycle, and I masturbate. And I'm proud of it. And God's happy. And later I'm going to masturbate and I'm going to think about you. And there's nothing you can do about it.
So he said if he had a time machine, he would kill Hitler. Like he would go back and kill Hitler. I love that he thinks he can just kill Hitler just because he just goes back there and walk up and kill the dude. And I was thinking, that's a noble purpose for a time machine. I would do that, but I would have gone back then, but I wouldn't have killed Hitler. I would have raped him. That's what I thought. Because I think that would have been enough. I think that would have stopped him from doing all that shit. If he had been raped by me, he never would have pulled any of that stuff, man.
I got to get the phone and write hi to like 50 people. And then, somebody cool writes back, and then somebody not as cool writes after, and I'm like, oh, you, I'm not going to... I already got somebody.
I'm not condoning rape, obviously. You should never... rape anyone, unless you have a reason, like you want to fuck somebody and they won't let you, in which case, what other option do you have? How else are you supposed to have an orgasm in their body if you don't rape them? I mean, what the fuck? I had to flush my daughter's fish down the toilet. I came home, the fish was dead. She wasn't home from school yet, so I just flushed the fish. And then my daughter comes home. Why did he die, Dad? Come on, what am I gonna say? Why did he die? Because who gives a shit? That's the reason. That's the actual reason. Is because it didn't matter that he was alive. That's why he's dead. He didn't know his name and he didn't love you back. These are the facts about that fish's life. Children who have nut allergies need to be protected. Of course. We have to segregate their food from nuts. Have their medication available at all times. And anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe if touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die. I'm not saying don't get married. If you meet somebody, fall in love and get married, and then get divorced, because that's the best part. It's the best part. Marriage is just like a larva stage for true happiness, which is divorce, because you just let go and everything's fine now. Divorce is forever. I took both my kids to the aquarium in Boston, and we were looking at this seal or sea lion. I don't know which one. I don't care. I don't think they need to be separate things. I really don't. They don't care, and we don't care. There's like 3 scientists who give a shit what we call all those things. Of course slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe
Maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. Nobody's watching your kids' videos on Facebook, I promise you. I'll prove it to you. Next time you tape your kids dance, take 1 second of it and then add 20 minutes of just your own asshole. Just go in the bathroom and just record your own anus opening and closing for 20 minutes.